WLBT, 3 on your side. WLBT News starts now.
6:30, glad you're with us. I'm glad to report that all is clear in the metro area and in all Mississippi, central Mississippi, that is. What we're looking at right now is a view from the Alpha Insurance Skycam of the clearing skies. Sun isn't technically over the horizon just yet. Won't do that until around 6:53 this morning. But things are looking a lot nicer as we start the day. Temperature right now at 50 degrees. Winds are out of the west this morning. They're going to become more northwesterly as we head into the afternoon. The commute, what you can expect, temperatures that are going to be in the low to mid 50s, partly cloudy to mostly clear skies. Going to be a nicer day today than it was yesterday, that's for sure. We'll talk more about what to expect as the day goes on. That'll be in just a few.
Well, right now trees are down and homes are damaged after strong storms swept across the southeast yesterday and last night. They left a trail of destruction on the Mississippi-Alabama border. Families in and around Meridian managed to stay safe during yesterday's devastating storms and tornadoes. Trees were uprooted, homes and buildings were ripped apart, and power lines were strewn across streets. Over the border in Pickens County, Alabama, the same line of storms caused damage with roofs ripped off homes and trees tossed across yards. Closer to home, that same storm system damaged a Pearl family's backyard. Our Annette Pegler checked it out.
This is what's left of Leanne King's home. You can see this massive tree actually fell into her deck and onto her pool. Thankfully, no one was injured. This tree, which is in a neighbor's yard in the back of King's home, came crashing down Tuesday. The family was not home at the time, but they are disappointed because they use this backyard to host neighborhood parties.
To see it in this shape, how does that make you feel?
It hurts my feelings to know that it's going to be a minute before we get to grill out and have our, regular fun, because, the neighborhood around here is like family, so they all come over for the cookouts and pool party. The family did fortunately have homeowners insurance, and 3 animals inside of the home were uninjured. Whenever we came home, they were just sitting on the couch like nothing ever happened. The last time this home was damaged was about a year ago during a hailstorm. Insurance agents will be back out at the home Wednesday morning to assess any damage. In Pearl, Annette Pegler, 3 on your side.
And take a look at this video from Belhaven in Jackson. The severe weather brought down this huge tree on Carlisle Street near New Stage Theater. The tree hit a power line when it fell, knocking out power to 76 customers, including the theater. No injuries or other property damage was reported. For the up-to-the-minute weather update, stay with WLBT and msnewsnow.com. We are your source online, on air, and on the go. Get the latest weather updates with the First Alert Weather app. Happening today, the U.S. House Oversight Committee is scheduled to hold a hearing in Washington on the Safe Drinking Water Act in Flint, Michigan. Flint's tap water was contaminated with lead after the source switched from Detroit to the Flint River in 2014, a cost-cutting move made while the city was under state financial management. The corrosive river water was not properly treated and caused the lead from pipes to seep into the drinking water. Residents started complaining about the appearance, smell, and taste of the water shortly after the switch, but they say no one in state government would listen. Meanwhile, Jackson Mayor Tony Yarber says he's excited that Hillary Clinton is bringing national attention to water problems right here in Jackson. Clinton released a statement expressing concern about water sampling that revealed traces of lead in drinking water in a few Jackson homes. But City Councilman Ashby Foote suggests Clinton's statement is just political.
Hopefully, if the secretary is able to be successful in her attempt at the presidency, those comments that she made today will turn into policy that will be able to see funding coming to the city of Jackson directly so that we can see issues like disinvestment turn around in our infrastructure.
It strikes me as an effort to generate a little publicity with the upcoming primary here in Mississippi, the SEC primary that Mississippi will be participating in. So I think it's just another attempt to generate some publicity for a particular candidate.
Foote says testing should continue, but he thinks the lead problem will be limited to individual homes in Jackson and not the water system as a whole. Last year, Mayor Yarber declared a state of emergency for Jackson's infrastructure, particularly the water system. Lady Gaga is going to the Super Bowl. The Golden Globe winner is scheduled to sing the national anthem at Super Bowl 50 in Santa Clara, California on Sunday. Gaga's Super Bowl performance will be just another notch in her belt. Last year, she also won her 6th Grammy Award for her collaborative jazz album with Tony Bennett, and she was named Woman of the Year by Billboard magazine. And this morning, we're getting an early peek at many of the ads slated for the big game. Those ads are costing advertisers upwards of $5 million for each 30-second spot. In contrast to last year, which featured an emphasis on ads that pulled at the heartstrings, this year appears to offer more of a trend toward humorous ads. That has been by far the most commonly used approach over the years for Super Bowl ads. And while laughs are by no means a risk-free way to go, they generally do play well with the broad audience that the Super Bowl attracts.
Is a safe haven for beer companies and car companies, and when it works, it can be really, really effective. But when it falls flat, not so much. So there's some risk, but in general, funny is a crowd pleaser for sure. Celebrities are also a bigger part of this year's Super Bowl ad collection. As of now, 33 celebrities are appearing, compared to 28 last year. Next on 3, bombs away. Why, it's what's on the outside that counts when it comes to danger in your vehicle. But first, let's take a live look at First Alert traffic. A live look outside right now at the interstate system shows it's all clear on most parts of the area. We do still have Highway 80 between Pelahatchie and Morton closed because there's water over the road. Highway 80 closed between Morton and Pelahatchie, but there at I-55 and Old Agency in Ridgeland and elsewhere in the metro area, it's all clear.
And when it comes to your weather, what you need to know is that the rain and the storms from yesterday have cleared away. Now we're starting to see a lot more of clearing conditions. We're going to be much cooler today as well. Temperatures right now in the low 50s in Jackson. What I'm expecting to see, though, is that cooler air from Little Rock and Monroe to head into our direction, and that is going to make for a nice-looking kind of a day today. We'll talk more about this forecast coming up straight after the break.
This is WLBT First Alert Weather.
6:40, glad you're with us here on WLBT. Bright blue sky over downtown Jackson. Looks really pretty this time of morning. Sun's not officially up for about another 12-13 minutes, so go ahead and enjoy it.
All right, 6:43 now, time for traffic and weather together. We go to Jessica Golden. She's live in Skycopter, Mississippi's only news helicopter. We'll look at how things are moving on this Wednesday morning. Jessica, good morning.
Good morning, Wilson, and a good Wednesday morning, everyone. Right now, we are heading eastbound on Highway 80, and Highway 80 here looking good around the metro, but we do want to inform you about that stretch of Highway 80 between Pelahatchie and Morton. Those roads are flooded, and all lanes are blocked there, so we're on our way right now so we can give you a visual of that scene. But everything around the metro area is moving smoothly. Traffic nice and light so far this morning, so if you're about to head out the door, you should have no trouble getting where you're going. This Skycopter Traffic Report sponsored by The Chicken Outlet. I'm Jessica Golden with Skycopter Traffic.
All right, Jessica, while you make your way to Pelahatchie, Jewel Hillary already there on the ground. She's giving us a live look at what the situation is there on Highway 80 between Morton and Pelahatchie. Jewel, it looks like a lot of water back there.
Hey, good morning, Wilson. Yes, absolutely. Highway 80 at the intersection of Morton and Rankin County Road. It literally looks like a river at this intersection. You can see all of this water gushing onto the road and into this small creek. And then for less than a mile, probably about a half a mile or so, this portion of Highway 80, again, between Pelahatchie and Morton, is blocked off to traffic. So if you take this way to get to work or school, you obviously need to take an alternative route because officials with MDOT, they're out here monitoring the water conditions and just making sure that no traffic is coming through this area. This is just a good reminder to folks as well, if you happen to come across large floodwater like this, high levels of floodwater, I should say, you definitely want to make sure that you turn around because you never know how deep the water actually is. Again, this is along Highway 80 and the Morton-Rankin County Road in Scott County between Pelahatchie and Morton. At this point, we haven't heard of any injuries or any homes flooded in this area, but we will definitely bring you updates throughout the rest of the morning. Reporting live in Scott County, I'm Jewel Hillary, 3 on your side.
Unbelievable, Jewel. Thank you. We'll be back to you in just a moment. In the meantime, watch this video out of snow-covered South Dakota. It shows just how dangerous slippery roads can be. Cheryl Lassiter has more on this now from the Alert Center. Cheryl.
Yeah, Wilson, this video was shot by a South Dakota Highway Patrol officer's dash cam. He approaches this vehicle, and the vehicle is just spinning. It almost looks like an amusement park there ride. Forecasters are saying that blizzard or near blizzard conditions will continue to spread through the upper Midwest this morning as Winter Storm Kayla heads northeast. There's a dangerous combination of snow and wind in that area right now, and it's leading to whiteout conditions on the roads and potentially very dangerous accidents like the one you see right there. That's the latest from the Alert Center.
All right, Cheryl. A driver is recovering in the hospital after a terrifying crash in Grand Isle, Vermont. She was hit by what's often nicknamed an ice missile, a flying hunk of ice from another vehicle. A 73-year-old woman suffered severe facial injuries. Sheets of thick ice broke off the roof of a tractor trailer, careening toward her hood and windshield. The trucker kept going, perhaps unaware of what had happened.
There's a lot of force. I can't imagine what her experience was.
For now, the sheriff's urging drivers to take extra time to knock snow and ice off their vehicles after storms, saying if you need convincing of why it's important, this should convince you. 6:47 now, and it's 50 degrees in Jackson. Next on 3, we're taking a look at all the morning's top stories, plus make a withdrawal with no card at all. We'll take a look at new ATMs that are changing the game coming up. But first, a quick update on the weather.
And we're checking in right now on what to expect for the commute forecast. As you head out this morning, like Wilson mentioned, you might see some flooded roadways, so just be careful for that. We've also had patches of fog, but that does appear to have cleared up. Upper 40s and low 50s right now. We'll be in the 50s with sunny skies for the evening commute. Grab those sunglasses so that way you can stay safe on that drive home. More in the forecast. We'll take a look at what to expect hour by hour through the day coming up in a few minutes. Welcome on back. 10 minutes until we get to 7 o'clock. And if you're going to be heading out shortly, you want to keep the First Alert weather app with you so you always know what to expect as you go through your day, at least when it comes to the weather. Temperatures are going to be in the upper 50s and low 60s today. We've got a good amount of sunshine in store. I'm expecting that we're going to have cooling conditions over the next couple of days. So Thursday and Friday will be more like low 50s, even though we will have that full sunshine. If you want to see the weekend forecast ahead, stay tuned. I've got that coming up in about 5 minutes from now.
The first case of locally acquired Zika virus has now been confirmed in Texas. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says this is just the third known case linking Zika to sexual activity. Health officials in Dallas County say the case involves a patient who had sexual contact with someone infected with the virus in Venezuela. The CDC says it will soon provide guidance on sexual transmission and Zika. The virus has been linked to a birth defect that leads to babies being born with abnormally small heads. Today, numerous countries are urging North Korea to put an end to its satellite launch expected in the next few days. Cheryl Lassiter has gathered details about this in the Alert Center. Cheryl.
And Wilson, it's because many countries believe this satellite claim is really just a front for a ballistic missile test. What you're seeing here is a successful satellite launch from North Korea in 2012. This time, U.S. officials will be looking for an improved rocket booster. It would be the equivalent of a long-range missile, according to CNN. South Korea says North Korea will pay a grave price if this launch takes place. And as we speak, the U.S. and Japan are working closely together to prepare a response should that launch take place. That's the latest from the Alert Center.
All right, Cheryl. Right now, police are searching for a man who robbed the IHOP restaurant on Greenway Drive off Highway 18 in South Jackson last night. JPD spokeswoman Calingela Green says an armed man came inside and demanded money. He was wearing all black clothing. No one was injured. Yazoo County has been ranked one of the worst counties in America to live, and those who do live and work there are not happy about it. Road Snacks is the survey group that released the findings. It looked at several factors for the study, including the local economy, crime, and schools. The county's economic director says while the poverty and unemployment rates do need some work, the county is growing, and it remains a major tourist attraction in the state.
Every day, I'm also the port director. At least once a week, I get a phone call of someone that wants to locate out in our port.
Just this store here, we've been open 5 years this month, and we've had every state in the union in here. And
Humphreys, Quitman, and Holmes counties were also on the worst counties list. The ATMs of the future could soon arrive on a corner near you. Chase is one of the few banks utilizing new technology to update how customers can get their cash. The bank chain is overhauling its 18,000 ATMs, and soon you won't need a card to use them. The e-ATM will launch later this year. You'll be able to withdraw money using the Chase app and a special 7-digit code on your smartphone. By the end of next year, you'll be able to pay your mortgage and credit card bills at the machines as well.
We do all this because our customers are asking for this. They want to be able to bank where they want, when they want, and how they want. And this machine is allowing us the flexibility to do so.
Bank of America is also making its machines mobile friendly, and Citigroup ATMs may soon scan your eyes for identification. It also saves a lot of money. Every teller transaction ends up costing the bank about 65 cents. That figure drops to 8 cents at an ATM and 3 cents on your mobile device. Well, if you are just waking up, here's a quick look at some of this morning's top stories. Folks in parts of the Magnolia State are cleaning up after yesterday's storms left a trail of destruction. Families in and around Meridian managed to stay safe during the devastating storms and tornadoes. Trees were uprooted, homes and buildings were ripped apart, and power lines were strewn across streets. Over the border in Pickens County, Alabama, the same line of storms caused damage with roofs ripped off homes and trees tossed across yards. Rough storms damaged the backyard of this house in Pearl. This is what it looks like behind Leanne King's home on Sandy Lane. A neighbor's tree fell onto her deck and pool. Nobody was home at the time and no one was hurt. They expect an insurance adjuster to check things out later this morning. And now take a look at this live video. This is Highway 80 between Pelahatchie and Morton. The Mississippi Department of Transportation early this morning sent out an alert that Highway 80 was impassable in this area. So we sent a crew out there to check it out, and this is what they found. That is not a stream or a lake or a river. That is Highway 80. And that is why you cannot drive on Highway 80 right now between Morton and Pelahatchie. You're going to have to wait for that water to recede before they'll be able to open it up again. So if this is part of your commute, keep this in mind and stay off of Highway 80 between Morton and Pelahatchie. Let's go to the air now for a perspective from Skycopter. Jessica Golden joins us live with a First Alert traffic update. Jessica.
Good morning, Wilson, and a good Wednesday morning, everyone. We just heard you talking about this stretch of Highway 80 between Pelahatchie and Morton that is flooded. We are now on location there, and you can see there is lots of water over here. All of the lanes here of Highway 80 are flooded, water covering all the lanes, and this is just a pretty small stretch of road that we're seeing that's covered about halfway between Pelahatchie and Morton. But these roads are impassable, so if you're heading in this direction, do be aware you will not be able to get through. We actually see a car turning around right there. Again, these roads on Highway 80 between Pelahatchie and Morton are flooded and unpassable, so if you're headed in this direction, do be aware of that. Traffic in the metro looking good this morning and moving smoothly. I'm Jessica Golden with Skycopter Traffic.
Unbelievable. We got Skycopter back here and the live shot from the ground there. That's unbelievable. It's just an
really
incredible
wild
amount of rain that made all this happen last night.
Yeah, about 5 to 6 inches of rain fell yesterday during those storms in some areas. And it's not just Highway 80 that's experienced flooding. I've also seen some local side streets that have had flooding. We've also had reports of a water rescue that took place down in Bude. That was near the Homachitta River and the campgrounds. I do want to show you the 7-day forecast real quick. We want to show you that today we're going to be around 60. We'll be in the low 50s tomorrow and Friday. No chance for rain until Sunday, and then it's just a slight chance. Have a great day.
Now, with the new Mississippi News Now mobile app, you'll never be without Mississippi News. From msnewsnow.com to text and email alerts for breaking news and weather. Mississippi News Now. It's all right here in the palm of your hand. Sponsored by Alpha Specialties, your one-stop shop for quality trailers, parts, and service.